Hey guys, we're back for part 3 and we're moving on to potential NHL playoff matchups. Now first, in the East, Washington and the Rangers.
Yeah.
Go.
The big thing with Washington is they don't have that. They always falter during the postseason. You saw them with the big underdog in Montreal. They beat them, and Washington was supposed to absolutely coast all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals, and they didn't because Montreal came in and they're the better team in that series. I think Washington they get a better rep this year because Alexander Ovechkin has not been playing to his average. I mean, when I say average for him, that's I mean, he's still a very, very good player. But I mean, only 30 goals this year. Anytime it's only 30.
Only 30.
Yeah. But you know, Alex Smith has really risen a little bit. I think the big problem with Washington is their goaltending situation. Is it Varlamov? Is it Neuvirth? They switch it in every game. Seems like together they're a good goaltending package. But you need one guy to coast them through the playoffs. I think it's going to be Varlamov. I think Varlamov's solid. The big thing is getting Mike Green back, who they've been missing these last couple of months. Inserting Mike Green into that blue line, I think that's going to be huge for their offense. And they're going to get a lot more goals. It's going to set up Alexander Ovechkin a lot more. I think Ovechkin really needs to step up and beat the Rangers. Rangers are an easy team, I think, in the first round. I think the big problem with the Rangers is Henrik Lundqvist, who's a possible Vezina candidate. Other than that offenses are all right with Callahan, Dubinsky.
They got a lot of weaknesses, though.
Yeah, they do.
That's
they got a lot of weaknesses.
This is not Montreal we're talking about. This is the Rangers. I mean, it kind of feels like they just came in and took the 8th seed. Don't get me wrong, they're a good team.
Yeah,
they're better than they used to be. Trust me. They're just bad.
Yeah,
they're getting better. It's just they're not good enough now to beat the Capitals.
Yeah.
Montreal was ready. They're like that sandbagging team. They're always just gonna come from behind and just take it from you.
Yeah, I think the problem with the Rangers the last couple of years was those big contracts with Drury and Scott Gomez. Those were 2 terrible contracts. They got those guys out of there finally. I think the Rangers are going to be up there. I think I'm going to say Washington in 6.
Washington 5.
Washington 5?
I think it's their time to do it.
It's
their time to just get the pressure off the 1 seed and just coast.
But I think the East is wide open. I think the Washington is not a legitimate 1 seed. I think the goals against average, their differential is not very good. I think Boston's better. I think Philly's better.
The thing is, I think in hockey, seeding does not mean that much.
Doesn't matter as much.
Times.
Basketball's a huge difference. NHL is not a big.
MLB too.
MLB
big.
too.
I think that's the biggest.
Football, obviously. I think NHL might be the lowest.
Alright, moving on to the Flyers and the Sabres.
Yeah. I'm going to say, Ryan Miller steps up in the postseason. He's a great, great goalie, but I think the Flyers are too good on offense. You see him what they did last year. They coasted all the way to Stanley Cup Finals. They beat Bruins in the worst collapse in NHL history, winning 4 in a row.
Bad.
That was pretty bad. But, I think they're even better this year. Bobrovsky, I've been talking about all season long. I think he's a real solid goaltender in net there. He's a Rookie of the Year candidate. I think he's a big guy there. He's not experienced, but I think that offense is going to carry the experience for him. I think they're a real, real good Flyers team. I think the Sabres, with Ryan Miller, their offense is a little bit struggling. Drew Stafford, they're pretty solid, but I'll still go Philly in 4 in a sweep.
I'll go Philly in 4 too.
Yeah.
Philly's still the defending East.
Yeah, they are.
So you can't really.
Yeah, I think they kind of backed away in there. I think they're not playing for what they need. Like you said, the seeds don't matter as much.
Yeah, because they were 7th.
They built a huge lead.
7th last year.
Yeah.
And they did that.
And was it 6 or 7?
It was 7. Bruins were 6.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. But I think this year it's a little different. And Philly had a huge lead in the East, and all of a sudden they fell back a little bit, and Washington came back and overtook them. I think Philly's better than Washington. I think
Philly's preparing for that takedown of the top.
And I said last week.
I think they'll do it. Too.
Last week I said of all the 4 teams, Lightning, Canadiens, Sabres, and Rangers, the easiest team out of that group is the Sabres. So I'm going to say Philly 4.
East is going to be interesting playoffs.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
A lot of upsets, I think, can happen.
Alright, next, probably your guys' favorite matchup, Bruins and Canadiens.
Yeah, it's a huge matchup, not just because we're Bruins fans, but I think out of all of the matchups, NBA or NHL, I think this is the biggest matchup with the whole Pacioretty chart thing, with the whole original 6 thing, with the whole huge rivalry thing, but I think Montreal's a bunch of pussies. So, so I think the Bruins are going to take this. I think they don't have anybody to stick up the chart.
No Canadian pun intended on that
Their big problem is, when we talk about Canadians, and we always screw them up. I hate the Canadians more than any other team. I think Chara, he's not going to be phased by anything. They can't stop Chara. I think Boston's going to be pushing for it. You see what they did with the Philly and that epic collapse. I think they're a much better team this year. I think they're ready for a Stanley Cup contention. I think Cavalier's been great for them. Tim Thomas, the best goalie in the game. think that offense has really improved with Lucic, Krejci, and Horton there. I think they're a real good team. I think Montreal's a very good team too as well. But Carey Price, he doesn't scare me as much as Tim Thomas.
Yeah.
I think Montreal's a solid offensive team. I think they have great fans. As much as I hate the fans, I think they have great fans. Well, not great fans, but fans that actually care about their
Screw
team.
their fans.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I think Montreal's going to come up a little bit short. I think I'm going to take Boston in 5. I think Montreal's going to win one game in
Boston
Montreal.
in 6 because this is the Canadians. We have a history with them.
Yeah.
And
So
plus
you're
the
going to
seeding
say Boston's going to win in Montreal for
Boston,
game 6?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
I agree.
They're going to say, screw you to the fans.
Yeah.
And literally stick the finger after the game.
I would love to see somebody try to fight Chara.
There's going to be a big fight after game 6. I'm going to be there.
And I want to see if Pacioretty does play in the
He's gonna
series.
be there.
When Pacioretty does
Flight
play in the
to
series,
Canada.
I think it's going to be
Already
really
back.
interesting for the Bruins fans to tool on Pacioretty for milking that injury.
April vacay, packed up.
All right. Finally, Penguins Lightning.
Penguins Lightning. This is really a pretty good matchup. You know, I'm going to go up on a ledge here, and I'm going to say Lightning. I think Penguins, yeah, they have a great team. They're very experienced, well coached by Dan Bilesma. I think he's the best coach in the game. But I think Lightning, they have him on offensively. You know, if they had Crosby, if they had Malkin, it would be a different story. But if they get Crosby back, he's hurt still. I think with Stamkos and Martin St. Louis, he might be one of the most underrated players in the game. Nobody talks about him.
Yeah.
70 assists or something like that. He's ridiculous.
70 assists.
I think it's around the
Wow.
60. Something. He's a great player.
Impressive.
It might not be 70. I think it might be around 60.
Still
But
low.
St. Louis, Stamkos, and Vinny LeCavalier, he's hurt right now. But I think St. Louis and Stamkos with that great defense. And also,
Yeah.
I think it's Wayne Rolston. He has the experience with Edmonton. Went to the Stanley Cup Finals a couple years ago.
Yep.
I think he's going to be real good for them in the net. I think the Lightning are going to take it in 7.
I think because Pittsburgh is Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh will win this series.
All right.
I'll give it to them 6 too.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Lightning, after the fate of last
Yeah.
season, just falling out of it, come back into it. I understand, like you said, they went to the Stanley Cup Finals and whatever. It's just they got to come back and they're gonna have to play some nasty defense.
The only thing I
Say the offense is great. You're gonna have to play some
Yeah.
ridiculous defense.
The only thing I don't like about Penguins, I don't think they have that same kind of motivation. Yeah, they won it a couple years ago, but I
They
don't.
could be sitting back for the
it's a big
striking
thing.
period.
You know,
right there.
Tampa
We have a
Bay-
strike.
Tampa Bay, they won it a long time ago, but I mean, I think they're pumped up. I think Stamkos is that great player. But I think out of all the games I picked, I think this is the one I'm most unsure about. I think the Penguins could
Yeah.
easily win this with experience. That's why I'm taking
Yeah.
the Lightning
I
in
like
7.
I like
I
the
think it's
Penguins
tough.
at 6.
I think they're two good evenly matched teams. So.
Yeah, they are.
All right, moving on to the West. Vancouver versus Chicago.
Ooh.
I love. That's
I love
a
this
very
matchup.
very intense matchup.
Yeah, no, Chicago
Lot of
champion
grudges,
last year.
lot of grudges, man.
Yeah. I'm going to go Vancouver. Vancouver is the best team by far in this
Chicago
whole
seems to be
entire league.
struggling. I don't like that.
When I see Chicago, I do not see an AC. And I see, I mean, if they can draw Phoenix, if they can draw Nashville, that's fine.
They could have got up
They
to
draw
60.
Chicago, yeah. The West is very close, but I think all the games are all
Vancouver's too
played.
strong.
I think having Chicago might not even make it. It's either Chicago or Dallas. If they can draw Dallas,
No,
it's huge.
I think Chicago's pretty much in.
Yeah, no, they're the only teams there. Chicago has 92 points, Dallas is 91, but
Really?
Dallas is another game
I
to
thought
go.
Chicago had. I thought Dallas had
Wanna
95.
check that real quick,
I thought
John?
Dallas had
What is
95
it?
points and Chicago had 97.
6.
Dallas 95, Chicago 97. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And some unlike two other teams at 99.
Chicago 97 points and Dallas 95. So Chicago does have the tiebreaker. If Dallas wins, Dallas will make it. If Dallas loses, Chicago's already played his 82nd game. If Dallas wins, they're in. If they lose, they're out. If they can ground in Chicago, that's a really tough draw
I
there.
think Chicago would be better.
Chicago has
matchup.
the experience. I think Vancouver. If they grab Chicago, they'll win in 6.
Don't.
I think if Vancouver grabs Dallas, they'll win in 4. I think Vancouver is the best team, but if they take a Chicago, it's tough. Vancouver, Roberto Luongo is playing better than he's ever had.
Oh, yeah.
The Sedins have been playing great.
He's
Best
on fire.
players in the
You
game.
don't want to.
Kessler, and they have one of the deepest defensive blue liners in the game too. I think they're coached well. I think the Canucks are the biggest threats of the cup. I'm gonna go if they play Blackhawks. I'll go Canucks in
I'll agree
6.
with that. Canucks are dangerous. I'd watch out for them. I wouldn't want to be that 8 seed right now. Just
I
say
would not
that.
either.
All right, next
The
Sharks.
Hunters, too.
Next Sharks and Kings.
That's a tough one. I've liked the Kings all year. I think Quick's done a
Sharks are
terrific
like an offensive
job.
machine.
Yeah.
They have like the biggest like offensive.
And I think
like,
Yemi,
arsenal.
Yemi,
show.
One thing we didn't talk about Chicago is they lost Niemi, their goalie, but Niemi's gone to Sharks. I think he's done a terrific job for them. But yeah, like you said, the offense, I think they're
the best. I think they're the best offense in the NHL, pretty much. I'd say they're close. Vancouver,
beast.
I
think, is the best.
Vancouver's best. I'll give them second.
Yeah, maybe in the West. Red Wings are pretty good too, but I'm gonna go the Sharks in this series.
Yeah.
I like the Kings with Jonathan Quick and Drew Doughty in the blue line, and also Anze Kopitar.
It's not enough.
But I think the Sharks are a little bit too deep. They're very well experienced.
Sharks in a sweep.
I'll go Sharks in 5.
4-0.
All right, moving on. Red Wings, Coyotes.
Yeah, I think Red Wings experience. Brzgalov for the Coyotes is pretty
Coyotes,
good.
good job for getting in there, but you're not making it that far.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Red Wings.
Coyotes made it last year too. That team on paper is not that great. I think the playoffs, they keep on making it. I think it's a lot of it falls on Brzgalov. Brzgalov has been terrific, but I think Red Wings, they always step it up in the postseason. They're a Stanley Cup threat, and I think that experience.
They're always a Stanley Cup threat.
Yeah, with Mike Babcock, I think that's a solid coach right there. They're a great experienced team. I think the Red Wings take this in the sweep.
They're like the Nuggets. They always make the playoffs. They never get far.
Yeah. The Red Wings?
No, not the Red Wings. I mean the
Oh,
Coyotes.
Coyotes, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I didn't know you were talking. I was getting. Yeah, I was thinking of what I was about to say.
But they're always there.
Yeah, the Red Wings.
I'll go Red
definitely
Wings.
threat. Like the Celtics.
What did you pick? Red Wings win?
Red Wings in 4.
All right.
Sweet.
All right, now finally, Ducks and Predators.
Ducks, Preds. I'll go Ducks. I think Pecorine, after Tim Thomas, he's been the second best goalie for the Preds, but I'm gonna go Ducks. I think Ducks are very, very solid with Corey Perry and Teemu Selanne. They're well coached. I think they're a solid team. I think they're a little bit more hungrier right now. I think they're gonna take this in 7.
I'll give it to them in 6. Just because that big showing you made for Corey Perry last week with the underdog and everything. I'll give him 6. Give him 6. I think they're not going to know really.
It's Selanne with that experience. I think that 1-2 is pretty good.
All right, and to wrap up with the show, what are you guys' NBA and NHL Finals predictions?
I picked for the NBA. I'm gonna go. I picked that 2 weeks ago. I think it's gonna be Chicago, Oklahoma City. I'm gonna take Chicago in 5. I think I think that's gonna be a really good, interesting series. I think Oklahoma City can take down the Lakers because of Kendrick Perkins. I think Chicago is by far the best Eastern team. I think Miami isn't experienced enough, and I think Boston, without that big presence.
What Orlando? You count Orlando out of this?
I am counting Orlando out of this. I think they falter a little
Good
bit.
threat, though.
They have Dwight Howard. They have Dwight Howard. They can have
the
solid
Celtics
defense,
out of
but they don't have that other guy, which they need that other good scorer. And they thought they were going to have that with Carter, but Carter's too much of a ball hog. And they thought they were going to have that with Arenas, but Arenas sucked when playing with them. They need that other guy. They need like a Steve Nash type player. They don't have that.
I don't see the Thunder getting there yet. You got to pass. I mean, I'm not.
Well, I'm going on a limb.
Yeah, I know you're going on a limb. I'm just saying that I don't see that.
Yeah.
I say the Bulls are too inexperienced. I think they're a great team. Inexperience is going to smack them when it comes playoff time. I think it is. I think
they're pretty experienced.
They're experienced, but they're not as experienced.
Cole
as the
Boozer's been in the
Celtics.
playoffs.
Celtics and the Heat are going to take
the
them
Bulls
down.
have been in the playoffs the last 3 years. The only thing inexperienced is Tom Thibodeau, who's been the defensive coach for the Celtics. They're pretty
I didn't think
experienced.
about that, but still though.
The good thing about the Bulls,
the Celtics and the Heat will take.
The good thing about the Bulls, what other team could take down the Celtics more? Thibodeau knows every one of the Celtics' strategies.
I wouldn't count the Heat out of this.
I won't count the Heat.
I wouldn't
I don't
count
know
the Heat out
about
of this.
the Heat taking down the Bulls. I
can see the
take
Heat
the
taking
Bulls.
down the Bulls.
I take the
What's
Bulls.
your matchup?
I want the Celtics and the Lakers again.
Celtics, Lakers?
But I don't know if that's going to happen.
Of what?
Like, what's your matchup?
I don't see the Spurs
My
getting there.
matchup?
That's what I think. I don't see them getting
host.
there. Just the host. You got an opinion, man.
In the NHL, I'm gonna go Vancouver, Boston. By a little bit of shocker there. I'm gonna go Vancouver, Boston. I think the East is a little bit more open, but I think Boston, after that terrible collapse last year, I think Neely's gotten better. He's a terrific president over there. Vancouver's too good in the West, I think. But Boston, I think they've really matured this year. I think Cavalier was that missing link. Claude Julien, he's their big weakness. I think that coach is not that great. But I'm going to go, Vancouver's a great team, but I think Boston has a little bit more experience. And I think I'm going to take Boston in an absolute shocker in 7. That might be a little bit biased, but I took Boston all the way in the beginning. I'm going to take Boston again. I'm not taking the Celtics.
Team on paper,
in the
they look like the championship team.
Lakers,
Not
Bulls.
anymore.
Lakers, Bulls.
That'd be pretty sick.
That
Pretty
would
good.
be.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just I'd
Who do you think in
say
the East?
I'd say
Take the Lakers, Bulls. I don't think the Celtics have it. I don't think the Celtics have it.
I don't think the Bulls have it.
I
I think the Bulls are going to fade against somebody. They're not going to win the
You
championship.
think a team like
They're not going
the
to win the
Hawks or
championship.
Orlando can come in there and win?
I think Orlando could come in there and win.
Alright.
I think
Yeah,
Orlando
what
and the
about hockey? What about
Celtics
hockey?
and the Heat could
No
take
hockey.
them down. I would say I'm going to say the Penguins. I'm going to say the Penguins and the Canucks.
Penguins. They don't have that big firepower anymore without Crosby and Malkin.
They're waiting to strike like the Celtics
Who
4
do you
seed
think
last
the
year.
West-
4
Canucks?
seed last year Celtics. 4 seed Penguins this year. There's a trend coming.
Yeah, that's it. Those are two big. Boston and Penguins are both on the limb, so I like
I
this.
still see the Penguins
That's
losing. Kind of like this.
So you take the Canucks to the championship?
Yeah.
Alrighty, good.
How many
shit.
games? How many games?
I'll give them 6.
6.
That'd be nice.
Alright, some good stuff in today's show, you guys. I mean, we'll make up for next week's not show.
Yeah.
We're
Next
not,
week
we're
we're
gonna
gonna
be
have
back
a
in.
hiatus. We'll be back in full
We'll be back in
force.
2 weeks, and right then we'll be, in the middle of playoff coverage. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it works out. It works out. So, in the meantime, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter. Obviously, subscribe to our YouTube. Check out our website, and that's about it.
Come on, Red Sox. Show
Sure,
me
Red
something. Paper means nothing.